Welcome to Greenmount College in Northern Ireland for the 36th IAAF Antrim Cross Country. This event, which is held every year, features top runners in both the men's and senior races. In the women's senior race, we're going to see Fionnuala Britton from Wicklow, who's the twice European cross-country champion, running for her third in a row. She's going to face stiff competition from Gemma Steele from England and the Bahrain runner Mariam Jamel, who won the world 1500 metres twice and was also a bronze medalist in the London Olympics. In the men's race, Thomas Ayoko from Uganda will face stiff competition from Britain's Andy Vernon and also from the world cross-country champion Japlet Korir from Kenya. With excellent racing conditions here today on the banks of Lough Neagh, we're going to hand over to our commentators Dick Hooper, but first Will Downing.
A major challenge awaits our defending champion from Uganda, Thomas Ayeko, who won in Antrim last year, and it will become apparent the further on we go. Andy Vernon coming off a very successful cross-country season at the end of 2013. But Japhet Korir, the world cross-country champion, wearing 20, is the man to watch here today. All eyes on the man who at the age of 19 won the world cross-country title in Bydgoszcz last year. It's a strong field, particularly those alongside him. Emmanuel Bett and Cornelius Kiproto, both of Kenya. We have had some great illustrious winners in Antrim down through the years, but it's the first time that we've had a reigning world cross-country champion competing in the Antrim cross-country itself. And Dick Hooper, well, look at that. Three big Kenyan names striding away at the front right at the start.
Oh, it's a great coup for the organisers to get athletes of that quality along here today, early cross-country season, January, for Ayeko and for the world cross-country champion Korir. Very good too to see a strong international field there. In particular, we've 4 of the 6 runners who ran for Ireland in the European Cross-Country Championship just before Christmas in Belgrade. And we also have Andy Vernon from England. He was third here last year, and Andy ran brilliantly over at the European Cross to take the bronze medal.
Well, watch out for Andy Vernon. He won quite a number of medals at underage level at Europeans in the past. Under 23 silver and bronze, and also World University Games 5,000 metres champion. He's tucked in just close alongside the trees on the left of picture, but taking them out at the moment. Emmanuel Bett, who didn't compete in Antrim last year because he was finishing second in El Giobar in Spain, behind Concelsus Kiproto, whose namesake Cornelius is also high up. And watch out for this hill. It catches an awful lot out. And as you can see, it's been well trodden by the early races here in Greenmount so far today.
Yeah, the muck certainly sorts the men out from the boys, and it's very heavy in that particular section of the course. But funny enough, the Africans never seem to have any problem with the muck, even though you can't imagine them being as used to it as the Irish and British runners, but they never ever have any problem with it.
Well, a great start you'll see from Andy Vernon there, leading them out during the first lap here, and Thomas Ayeko, our defending champion, pulling away ahead of Emmanuel Bett, who wears 19. Japhet Korir, the world cross-country champion, wearing 20. 18 is Cornelius Kiproto. A little stumble from Titus Mbeshi, but there's an awful lot of Kenyans up there. Vernon is putting the speed on also, and just behind him is Paul Pollock. But it's the 3 athletes who we expected to do well. Ayeko of Uganda, Bett and Korir, who are the leading 3, and now coming forward for Ireland is Michael Mulhare, who finished 15th in Belgrade in the European Cross-Country Championships. Paul Pollock just came through, picture out of shot. He at the moment the leading Irishman in 7th place, Vernon 6th, but these are the 3 way ahead of the rest, and these are the 3 to beat right now, although Kiproto is doing his best to pull them back.
Yeah, they're like 3 guys out for a Sunday morning run, but by God, they're moving at a fair old pace because they're going away from the field with every stride. But such is their class that you would expect that. Good to see Paul Pollock take the bait there. Paul has been the revelation in Irish distance running over the last year and a half, since he made his debut in the Dublin Marathon and put it up to the Kenyans there in 2012. He finished 21st in the World Marathon Championship in Moscow last August, a fantastic run. And Paul has been running great, such is his confidence, but what I like most about him is his courage.
So it's Ayeko and it's Korir and it's Bett making the way up this sharp hill at the back end of the course. And struggling behind now, Kiproto and Mbeshi. and Andy Vernon. Well, he finally struck his senior medal at the European Cross Country Championships in Belgrade a few weeks before Christmas, and there go through Michael Mulhare and Paul Pollock, who is the second European finisher at the World Championships in Moscow earlier this year. Here comes Dewi Griffiths, who almost takes our cameraman Gary out of the scene, and now it's Mick Clohessy in the green for Ireland, shortly behind in the top 15.
Yeah, Mick is a fine cross-country runner and always enjoys the muck. The camber on that particular hill looks very, very slippy, and Andy Vernon was the smartest fellow I saw there, where he went right up to the top and so avoided the slippy nature of it, because you can lose so much momentum and so much ground if you go too near the side there.
Well, there's another little dip here towards the end of the lap. It's 5 laps this time around of 2,000 metres each. It's a 10,000 metres race. That to prevent lapping, although, as you can tell, we're having a lot of it here. Ayeko, Bet and Carrere leading the way, and Michael Mulhare doing very strongly, very well here in 7th place, and Paul Pollock in 9th, who's gunning for a huge amount of championships this year, as I'm sure he'll tell us later. Aziz Labahi of Morocco came through, and Adam Hickey for England as well. But there's 3 men ahead of the rest, and they're getting very impatient here, pushing their way through the back markers, those who've been lapped. And among those pushing his way through is the World Cross Country Champion, the man who at the age of 19 took the title in Bydgoszcz last year in Poland, Jafet Korir. He's wearing 20.
Yeah, he looks to be sitting in there, biding his time. The trio there, I think they're really just playing with each other. Nobody has really gone for it yet, but they have quite a sizable gap over the field. The interesting battle down the field from an Irish perspective is the one between Michael Mulhare and Paul Pollock. Paul beat Michael convincingly in the Irish Championship before the Europeans. Then Michael won that particular joust out of the Europeans, so there's a little bit of a final going on here today, and there isn't much of a gap between them presently.
Back into the forest. The 3 wise men are still there, and Ayeko, the Antrim champion, leads the World Cross Country champion into 2nd place, and Bet is trying to bide his time to hold his position in 3rd, but it's a long way back to 4th, with Cornelius Kipruto, who won the junior men's team gold in the African Cross Country Championships in 2012. He makes his way over the crest. Andy Vernon doing very well, pushing his way up towards 5th place now, and you'll have spotted Michael Mulhare just behind him as well. They're jousting very well in the top 10 right now. Here goes Lababi of Morocco, and then Paul Pollock in the 9th position, and completing the top 10, Adam Hickey for England.
Yeah, Michael Mulhare is adapting to the conditions very well, maybe a little bit better than Paul Pollock today. Michael's always been very good on the muck. He's good pace as well, and it's good to see him get a blow in at Andy Vernon. He's not too far behind Andy at the moment, and the way the two of them took the hill there in the muck was something similar, so I'll be very excited about what Michael is doing here today.
A lot of great battles. The top 3 positions look to be decided already, but in which order? And there is the Irish battle as well between Mulhare and Pollock, and Vernon still going well in 6th place and barely a few metres behind Michael Mulhare of Portlaoise. Brother Dan is here, coming from that great athletics family in Portlaoise. We're heading towards the end. It's Thomas Ayeko who's leading the way ahead of Jafet Korir, and Emmanuel Bet is in the jade with the red sleeves. Korir not minding the cold here. Conditions have improved as the day has worn on, but it's Ayeko who continues to lead the way.
Oh, this is a tremendous race up front. Ayeko is defending his title with great pride, and Korir, being the world champion, isn't going to want to be beaten here. And Bet is hanging in brilliantly. He seems to have the most difficulty when it hits the muddy patch. So my money would be on Korir and Ayeko to have the battle to the finish, but let's see how it pans out.
Well, it's turning out to be a really decent race at the moment, right across the course here.
That's James McCarthy of East Cork there, and James is having a little bit of trouble with the camber as well.
Well, as we look down the field, the 3 leaders emerge. Good. Number 1 of the singlet of Ayeko, and will he be number 1 again here today?
Well, that remains to be seen, but in the body of that field there's a Northern Ireland team championship being fought out. St. Malachy's are the defending champions, but there's a lot of red fests in evidence there, which would suggest that City of Derry are here with intent today, and if they were to win it today, I'm not sure, but it could be a first for that great club, so it would mean an awful lot back in Derry.
Well, number 1 is a familiar number to Thomas Ayeko. He won in Antrim last year, and he won the Great Birmingham Run also. Finished 11th in the World Championship, 5,000 metres in Moscow in August. Kipruto coming around also, maintaining 4th place. Bet hanging on in 3rd at the moment with Career and Ayeko. And now coming through is Titus Mbeshi in 5th place, and Vernon has him in his sights. And in Mulhair's sights, Vernon around 20 metres ahead.
Very encouraging to see Michael Mulhair have such a go off Andy Vernon. Andy Vernon 3rd in the Eurocross recently, Michael Mulhair 15th. So Michael looks to have closed that gap since Belgrade in December.
Ayeko maintains the lead. We're on the final lap now. Career on his shoulder just behind, waiting for the right time to pounce. They've burnt off Bet, who's not too far behind in truth, only around 10 metres. But Ayeko and Career look to have gone at the right time. It was victory for Bet last year, and now here goes Career. Careering past Ayeko, the defending champion in Antrim, might be about to be dethroned by the world cross-country champion. They're in the final straight in Greenmount. It's a great sprint, this is. Career is leading Ayeko. Can Ayeko fight back? Bet back in 3rd place. And Jaffa Career, the world cross-country champion, is the Antrim champion now too. And making his way through in 4th place, it's going to be Cornelius Kipruto of Kenya. And Titus Mbeshi is just behind in 5th.
Yeah, and we now await the winner of the Irish, the Battle of the Irish, let's say. And don't forget the Northern Ireland title that's in there as well. There's Andy Byrne closing strongly, as he always does in cross-country races. But it's 6th is going to be the best that Andy will manage today. And we'll be looking around, and there's Michael Mulhair turning into the straight. So Michael is the first Irishman home. But he's not competing in the Northern Ireland Championship because Michael is from Portlaoise. So let's see who wins the Northern Ireland Championship.
Well, the first Moroccan home, as he's the only one in the field, is Aziz Labahi. And here comes Paul Pollock to be crowned Northern Ireland champion in 9th place, ahead of England's Adam Hickey. Pollock is the Northern Ireland champion. And what a great victory that is too.
And this is Michael Clohessy from Raheny running for the South. A very good run from Michael today. He's getting better and better with each race this winter, finishing in 11th place.
And 9.76, John Hopkins comes through to be crowned under 23 Celtic champion. Lachlan Oates of Scotland will be 2nd in that, 20th overall, and 3rd will be Liam Lloyd for Wales, 24th overall. But our champion, the world champion, Jaffa Career, has done it in Antrim ahead of the outgoing champion Ayeko in 2nd, Bet 3rd, Kipruto 4th, and Mbeshi 5th, Africans 1 to 5.
Could you move over there?
The course was very muddy, but I think it was a very nice course, although it was only very mud, but it was very good, the course.
Did you find the course very tough?
Yes, it was very tough due to the mudness of the rain course.
And Thomas Ayeko ran you very close.
Yeah, the course was very good. Ayeko, I think because of his training which he has done, which is make a very competitive race.
Yeah, how it was a gruel from the start. So, like 10k over them conditions, you have to be patient, I suppose, to know that it is 10k, like, and 4k, 6k to go. So it's going to be demanding, like. So you have to pace yourself again.
And do you have any tactics before you start?
Not really, to be honest. I wasn't the most confident going into it. I've kind of been sick the last 2 weeks, like, got a bit of a cold and sore throat, like. So I think a bit of freshness got me through that more than anything else, because I haven't been training as much as I should have been. But no, it was just go out steady, conserve the first 4k, and then pick off people if I could. So that was it, yeah.
What's next?
Next weekend I'm racing the Edinburgh Grey International race. That's the next Saturday, 11th, like. So that's the next big one. So I think myself and a few other, I think Dave McCarthy could be representing the European team in that, like. So it's a challenge against USA and Great Britain, so that'll be good, yeah.
Well, up till now my training's been just geared towards miles and just try and get very high mileage weeks done, and cross country kind of just plays along with that. But now hopefully I'm looking forward to the World Indoors in about 2.5 months' time. I'll be doing the 3k there, and then 10k at the Commonwealth, and then hopefully the marathon at the European Championships in Zurich in August time. So it'll be a busy year, but looking forward to it.
That was a tough race out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is my first time doing this course. It was a great course, to be honest. It's a beautiful day. It's quite muddy on the fruit, but that's what cross country is all about. So yeah, I was very happy with that. The competition's world class here, and it makes a change for such competition to come to Northern Ireland. So it's great, and hopefully it'll boost the publicity of the sport in the country. And yeah, I'm very happy with where I came as well.
And what's it like having top class athletes running in this competition?
Yeah, so I've raced against a couple of top class athletes before, but to have it in your hometown essentially with the support around here is just great, and it's great to see. And hopefully it'll mean come track races as well. Hopefully we'll get some world class athletes over for some of the track reasons come the summertime.
And talking about the support, there's a lot of people out there saying go on Paul, go on Paul.
Yeah, it's great. Thankfully the support around here is always fantastic for all the Northern Irish athletes. So yeah, so it's a great day out, and hopefully I'll come back next year and hopefully retain the title.
2014 Antrim IAAF International Cross Country, and also doubling up with the Celtic International Cross Country this year, involving Ireland, Scotland, Wales and Ulster. That means 2 titles decided here. 917 Gwen Gillam of Kilbarcombe, 511 from West Waterford AC. Very well represented here this weekend, Clean O'Ryan. This the junior and under 17 race, so there will be 2 titles decided here. But where they're going to go, it's a huge field representing Britain and Ireland, and we have, well, Síofra Cleary Butner has proven a famous name. She's really made a name for herself, but there's more than one Síofra, and Síofra O'Flaherty may well be an athlete to watch today from Carlow, Dick Cooper.
She certainly is, and Síofra comes from a club called St Lawrence O'Toole in Carlow, and back in the 70s they had a very young lady called Beatrice Lambert, who was a senior international at about the age of 14. I'm not sure where Beatrice is now. She wouldn't be too old even at this stage, but she's been supplanted now by Síofra O'Flaherty, who is one of the rising stars of Irish athletics. She won a medal at the European Youth Olympics last year over 3,000 metres. And the fact that she's only 15 doesn't mean that she doesn't have a very good chance here today. With the 2 age groups mixing in, the under 17 and the under 20, it may look slightly complicated to the onlooker to work out who's who. But let's just watch and enjoy the talent that's on display, and in particular this little lady, Síofra O'Flaherty from Carlow.
Well, 15 years old, she's in the under 17 category, and she's out in front already. 909 for Wales from Brecon. Down the left of your picture, that's Heidi Davis. And wearing 900 for Scotland from Victoria Park in Glasgow, that's Gillian Black. Very tightly bunched at the moment. 923, Kate Seary from Cardiff AAC, obviously representing Wales, and there are lots of club athletes here as well. Sophie Burnett, 491 in the sky blue of Bertley Athletics Club. And then we have a slip. That's a familiar looking singlet.
Yeah, it's a Raheny singlet. We're not used enough to the muck, us being roadies around North Dublin, but anyway, she's up like every tough athlete, and on goes the battle.
Well, there's a really tough athlete here in Síofra O'Flaherty, one of the great progressive clubs in Ireland, St Lawrence O'Toole's in Carlow. They've worked hard in recent years. They built an indoor 60 metres mono track facility, which is used quite a lot by some of the world's top international athletes, because Star Gagan, the physio, is based there, and they train in the St Lawrence O'Toole facility. They'd Blanka Vlasic there a couple of months ago in the Irish winter. Also coming through now, wearing 913 for Ireland, is Rachel O'Shea. But right out in front, Síofra O'Flaherty. They, at the moment, have got a cinder track, which they're looking to upgrade and replace. But it doesn't matter what the surface. She seems to love it, and Síofra O'Flaherty is well out in front.
Síofra has one hell of a gap, and remember, Síofra's running in the under 17 section of the race, so she's beating both her own compatriots and the under 20 girls. Not a surprise, and no disgrace to the under 20 girls, because this little girl is something special.
She right now is trouncing athletes who are 5 years older than her. She won silver at the European Youth Olympics in Utrecht last year in the 3,000 metres. It was Maria Ivteni of Romania who took the gold there, and who right now looks like maybe the only athlete in Europe who could beat her. She is almost half a continent away from the rest. She is well clear of a very large field of around 200 to 300, and right now Síofra O'Flaherty is the woman to catch. And with less than a lap to go, maybe she won't be caught. She's in splendid isolation, running through the Greenmount forest. She's got half a lap to go.
Some people would look upon this as a boring race because Shifra is so far ahead. I'd look upon it the other way. I would just admire the sheer talent and the sheer application that produces that gap that makes her look so special. This is a fantastic run, and watch the way she just glances through the muck. She is a natural cross-country runner, born for this surface.
Well, last summer a clubmate of hers excited many in Marcus Lawler. That was over 100 and 200 metres. This over quite a few thousand metres more. The battle really is for second place. Gillian Black coming through in second for Scotland, ahead of her international colleague Katrina Graves in third. Kate Seary currently fourth for Wales, and that's Catherine Gillespie coming through in fifth place. And a very good performance by Sophie Burnett for England from Berkeley Athletics Club. She's in sixth place. And Isabel Caron, well, we saw her from Skerries AC in the schools championships last summer, but right now there's one girl way out on her own. She's wearing 981. Forget the 98. She's going to be number one today.
This looks like it could be the most comprehensive victory of the day. There is nobody else in sight as Sheaf returns for home. She looks majestic.
Shifra O'Flaherty has had a fantastic time so far. Gillian Black is holding her own in second place, and it's Scotland 2 and 3. Katrina Graves around 10-15 metres behind her, and then for Wales, Kate Seary is in fourth place. It's a very good lead by Gillian Black over the rest. It's just her bad luck today that she's come up against somebody absolutely super. And Gillian Black, I should tell you, is also an under 17, as is Shifra O'Flaherty. 200 metres and one final turn to go in what has been a terrific virtuoso performance by the Carlow athlete from St Lawrence O'Toole's. Shifra O'Flaherty has been numero uno today by a long way. A fantastic virtuoso performance by Shifra O'Flaherty, and the 15-year-old has beaten 20-year-olds here to be crowned the Celtic International Champion. And it looks like it barely took anything out of it. Gillian Black is coming through in second place for Scotland, ahead of Katrina Graves, around half a minute down. Scotland 2 and 3. It'll be Wales 4 through Kate Seary. Catherine Gillespie 5 for Scotland. But what a winner for Ireland in Shifra O'Flaherty.
And Ella Fennelly coming in there for Ireland in sixth, but third in the under-20 race.
Heidi Davis wins the battle for seventh, ahead of Scotland's Gwen Gillam, but Shifra O'Flaherty top of the pack, and that was a winning margin of 33 seconds over Scotland's Gillian Black, with Katrina Graves winning the under-20 race, third overall. So this is Katrina Graves climbing the podium, having won the under-20 Celtic International title, with Kate Seary second in this category for Wales, Catherine Gillespie third. But nobody could leave with Shifra O'Flaherty today. She takes gold in the under-17, ahead of Scotland's Gillian Black in second, and Heidi Davis third for Wales. Number one, and loving it.
Shifra, many congratulations. Did you expect to win this race?
I was hoping to, but I knew that it'd be tough competition coming from both Ireland and Antrim.
It was pretty tough at the start, but by the end of it, you won the race by over 30 seconds. So was that the margin you were looking for?
To win by anything is good enough for running and that, but obviously just
and you made the County of Carlow very happy. Thank you very much.
A whole series of races across many age categories in Greenmount today. That includes primary school athletes. Alia Stewart of City of Derry Spartans winning the girls' primary school title. She's in front here wearing 532, ahead of the eventual second placer Ella Quinn of Omagh Harriers, who would take the silver medal. And bronze for number 545, Rachel Scott of St Eata's Primary School. An excellent performance from James Walker in the red, currently lying in third place here, but he would end up winning the primary school boys title for Tandragee Primary School, and would be top of the podium at the end, alongside 598 in second place, Dylan McBride of Brooklands, and 599 Lorcan McGurk of City of Antrim in third. We've got the junior and under-17 men on the way. So this is the junior and under-17 men's race at Antrim 2014 here in Greenmount alongside Loughney, and there's a talented field in this also, representing Ireland, and there's a strong Scottish team as well. Ewan Gillam is here Aidan Thompson, Jonathan Glenn, the good Irish athletes, Aaron Hanlon, Andrew Coscarin, Fergal Curtin from Youghal AC. For Wales, the likes of Alex Carter, Gwyneth Jones. Maybe even Christian Lovett could produce something today. There's going to be a lot of jostling here. You can see already the elbows are out. This could be tasty, right from the gun. So here we go, the junior and under 17 men's race, and they're going hell for leather right from the start. Ryan Thompson, you can see for Wales, way out in front in the red singlet. But there's some very good talent here as well, Dick Hooper, and I wonder how this is going to pan out.
Yeah, this will be a different race to the girls' race, because what you find here is that the under-20s tend to be stronger than the under-17s. Of course, you'll have the odd exception, whereas in the girls' side of things, very often the under-17s are in a better state of preparation and suitability, let's say, to compete. What I'm trying to say here is that I wouldn't expect an under-17 winner here. I wouldn't expect them to dominate the field. Of course, there'll be one or two under-17s that will shine, but it'll be dominated by the older athletes.
Under 20 and under 17 are the age categories in this. Leading the way, 9.55, Aidan Thompson of Pitreavie, who is representing Scotland here. Alongside him is 9.98, Alex Carter of Team Bath, which is across the 7, but he is representing Wales. And there's quite a few green singlets for Ireland there. Aaron Hanlon of Clonliffe Harriers, who's gone to school in Drogheda for St Mary's. He's flashing through the screen. Also Andrew Coscarin for Ireland. Fergal Curtin, we mentioned, from Youghal, is also going well. And Alan Monaghan of Bohermeen. It's a strong, huge field here. And a few slipping and sliding along the way up this famous hill at the back of the Greenmount circuit.
I'm puzzled as to actually why Aaron Hanlon is not on the Irish team today. He ran in the European cross-country in Belgrade before Christmas, ran very well, was the third man home. And a lot of the Irish team were his teammates on that particular occasion. So it seems strange that he's not wearing the Irish vest today. He's wearing his club vest, Clonliffe Harriers, and they have a club team here too. But Aaron hasn't been nominated on the Irish team. He still is a junior. He's still under 19 actually, so he'll be a junior again next year. So very strange. And I hope the selectors don't end up being embarrassed by all of this.
Well, there's lots of talent coming through. Amando Bamisili of Willowfield Harriers. That was the blue and white hoops that just came through a few moments ago. And also there, as we have a 3-lap event, it's still leading the way, Aidan Thompson, but Aaron Hanlon, wearing the black of Clonliffe Harriers, is bunched well in second place. And also up there for Ireland is Andrew Coscarin.
Yeah, it could be a good team race too. Two good Scots tucked in there. Thompson and Jonathan Glenn, two guys who come with a high reputation. So there's a good lead pack there. This has the makings of both a good individual race and a good team race. It's great when you see the mix of vests in there.
It's quite heavily bunched to the front, and there was a very tight corner run there from the two Scots, Thompson and Glenn. But it's Aaron Hanlon who was biding his time very well up front, and also up there Coscarin. So at the moment, any one of these 10 could force themselves away. A race over 5,600 metres, 3 laps of this Greenmount course.
There's a very good athlete in there as well from Lagan Valley, Ryan Sharkey, who's been wintering very well, and he obviously will want to be the first Northern Ireland man home, as well as compete and finish as high as he can, because he's very promising, and I know people speak very highly of him.
A couple of other club runners up here. Ewan Gillam from Kilmartin in Scotland, and also Conor McLean is in the top 10. Now he is based in the Outer Hebrides at Stornoway Running and Athletics Club. He could be a high finisher as well today. And Yola Hughes of Menai Track and Field also at the moment in around the top 20. So Ewan Gillam and Aaron Hanlon are the two who've broken away, both representing their clubs today. Gillam for Kilbarkin in the black and amber, and Hanlon in the black and red of Clonliffe Harriers, ahead of the two Scots, Aidan Thompson and Jonathan Glenn, as they make their way up the hill and also making his way up. Well, there's a very strong opportunity that there could be a bit of an Irish deliverance here.
Nothing like a hill to sort the men out from the boys. And just as I say it, there's an under 17, of course, with Aaron Hanlon. Young Gilham is only under 17, the guy from Kilbarkin there on Aaron's shoulder. And these two are beginning to pull away from the field, and so it's going to be interesting to see. Aaron looks very comfortable there, and indeed so does Ewan. So good race ahead of us.
Yes, Ewan Gillam is another very good, talented young Scottish athlete, but also making his way through the picture there is the Welsh international who forced his way through there, did Trout, and also John Gordon of Springwell Running Club. But it looks to be right now that the two main positions are going to be decided between these two flying club runners, and Aaron Hanlon, who is the Leinster Schools champion and who has his eyes perhaps on bigger prize coming in 2014, might be able to get the Celtic title here in Greenmount and Antrim this afternoon.
Yeah, Aaron had a very good track season last year. He won the mile in the Morton, the junior mile in the Morton Games, ran 4:16 that night. He ran 8:29 for 3,000, which is probably his best PB. He ran 15:01 outdoors for 5,000 in the Greystones IMC meet. So he's very good pedigree. He's a nice tidy mover, moves along nicely, and he has a little bit of a gap. The race isn't won yet, but he has a little bit of a gap there on Owen.
Ewan Gillam has a little bit of pedigree about him because he won the money-giving mini marathon in London at the under-15 level, and you might say, well, so what about that? Previous winners, Mo Farah and Steph Twell. He's part of a strong team, and he is a clubmate of the aforementioned Trout, and at the moment he's trying to reel our leader Aaron Hanlon in. Only around 10-15 metres between these two, and still quite a long way to go.
One feature of Aaron Hanlon's running over the years has been that he does love to front run. He loves to dominate a race, dictate the pace, and do it at his own liking. So Ewan a couple of times has looked as if he was closing, and then every time he's about to close the gap, Aaron surges again, and this could be the decisive surge here, because he will plough up this hill, and if Ewan doesn't dig in, he could find himself another 30 yards behind when they crest it.
What a very impressive rise. Gillam looking strong, trying to keep up, but not too far back now. In third place is Aidan Thompson for Scotland, and Andrew Coscoran of Ireland is in fourth, but it's Aaron Hanlon who leads the way, and you can see how far back the rest are now. He's looking strong, and he's getting stronger. Gillam has not been shaken off yet. He's still in the same straight as he takes one final dip towards the clubhouse here, the Agricultural College at Greenmount. Aaron Hanlon looking very, very strong and impressive indeed.
Oh, I think the race is won at this stage. Aaron is a very tidy package. As long as he doesn't fall going around the last sharp bend, I can't see him being beaten at this stage. He's going away with every stride. The race was won back down there on that hill when he doubled his lead.
So into the final straight, and a little look just to the side to see how far back Ewan Gillam is. Aaron Hanlon, very impressive. He knows he has the victory now, and he's waving the Clonliffe vest, the arms in the air. Aaron Hanlon is the Celtic champion, and Ewan Gillam comes through in second place. It's the fourth time he's won here. He's the under-17 champion. Aidan Thompson is third overall for Scotland, second at under-20, and Andrew Coscoran will be fourth overall, third at the under-20 category, beating Jonathan Glenn of Scotland into fifth, and Ryan Sharkey of Lagan Valley and Ulster is in sixth place. Alex Carter of Team Bath and Wales is seventh, and Conor McLean of Stornoway makes it home in eighth place. That was a very good performance, and coming home in 12th is Yolo Hughes. So Aaron Hanlon, an impressive victor, 11 seconds the winning margin over Ewan Gillam, who takes a prize himself. It's the under-17 crown. Thompson, Coscoran and Glenn, third, fourth and fifth. So Aaron Hanlon, top of the pile today. This the under-20 category.
Stay calm and just got back with him, and then going into the last time I was confident that I could take the win.
Now you're the current Leinster Schools cross-country champion. You also ran in Budapest in the under-20. Did that experience bring you on today?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Just the pace, just the general pace in Budapest. Running against people kind of opened your eyes to the kind of talent that's out there. So kind of being exposed to that kind of competition is invaluable.
And it was a big field today as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was a good field. it's good to have Scots and the Welsh over again. Like, you know, it's always good to run against international competition.
And where next for you?
I think I'm just going to focus on trying to win the schools and the inter-clubs cross country. So I'll try to hopefully do a double maybe.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rich.
And in the Celtic under-17, bronze for Yellow Hughes of Menai Track and Field in Wales, silver for Conor McLean, Stornoway of Scotland, and gold to Scotland and Kilbarchan, Ewan Gillam. Well, for very many of the home supporters, this is the athlete they've come to see today, the twice European cross-country champion Fionnuala Britton, who's generally got the better of Gemma Steele, but Steele beat Britain in Belgrade to win European silver just before Christmas at the European Championships. 3 times Gladys Gagnon has won the Northern Ireland title, going for a 4th crown today. Mariam Jamal won the 1500 metres World Championship titles in 07 and 09. She's a major candidate today, as are the Bolete sisters, Almesh and Mimi. They run for different nations now. They left Kenya at a young age, went to Belgium. Mimi now runs for Bahrain, as does Jamal. Almesh remains loyal to the black, gold and red. Decent Irish field also. Fionnuala Britton winning team gold in Budapest in 2012 alongside Sarah Tracy. Eunice Callis is a non-starter. So they're alongside each other, Gemma Steele and Fionnuala Britton. That could be one of the battles of the day. Katie Parry of Leeds alongside. A major crowd here for one of the races of the day at Greenmount. So we're underway in the women's senior international race, and we have a former champion here as well as Fionnuala Britton. Charlotte Purdue won the race in the fog of 2011. This could be a fantastic event, and it's Britton and Steele out in front on the left-hand side of the field right from the start. The Bolete sisters and Mariam Jamal are bossing it down the right-hand side.
I think Fionnuala's going to view this as a redemption day, a chance to make up for the disappointment of Belgrade, where she finished 4th after winning the European title 2 years in a row before that. Ahead of her that day was Gemma Steele, who finished 2nd. Charlotte Purdue ran very well as well. And Fionnuala loves this course, loves running up here, has won a few times, as we all know, and she's never afraid to take on the Africans. There are 3 very good Africans in there. They're going to be very hard to beat, but at best I would be hoping that Fionnuala would at least beat the rest of the field, not being too defeatist.
Well, Gemma Steele won bronze in Velenje in Slovenia when Fionnuala Britton won her first European cross-country title, and then repeated the act a couple of weeks later here at Greenmount and inflicted a 3rd defeat on her in Edinburgh, either side of Christmas 2011. Gemma Steele wasn't here last year. It was Louise Damon who finished 2nd 12 months ago to Fionnuala Britton, with Steele having finished 2nd the year before. But Steele in front here and showing a lot of Steele. This is precisely where she wants to be. Britton largely under the weather for the past 6 months, but still managed to finish 4th in the European cross-country in Belgrade. And up with the Bolete sisters, Almesh 26, Mimi with the hat wearing 28, Mariam Jamal is up there, Charlotte Purdue as well, and Sarah Tracy doing her best to stay up in 7th place. But there's a breakaway group of 6 being led by Fionnuala Britton and Gemma Steele.
Oh, this is very good, and isn't it great to see the Irish girl Fionnuala Britton up there leading the field, and such a good field, not afraid to take on the Africans. The women's race looking like a totally different shape than the men's race, where the Africans totally dominated the race. Here now they have the Europeans putting it up to them. Charlotte Purdue is in there as well. Gemma Steele and Fionnuala Britton leading it out, and you could put a line across that lead pack and struggle to find a winner. And Sarah Tracy battling to stay in touch, as Sarah always does.
Also up there, Rosie Smith of Scotland, Juliet Potter of England, and Rachel Felton of England is not too far behind as well. They're not very heavily strung out at the moment, but that pack of 6 or 7 trying to move away as they head back towards the far end of the course once more, the Greenmount Forest, and what talent we've had in the men's and women's races. We have world and European champions here, and there's no doubting that there's a few we've seen today. We'll also be targeting the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow next summer, but it's Fionnuala Britton as they head out of sight in towards the forest, who's leading the way alongside still, but will the likes of the Bellete sisters and Jamal pounce shortly afterwards? They're looking to make their move. They're all wearing very similar colours today. Almesh Bellete, Mimi Bellete, who is a year older at 25. Almesh is 24. And Mariam Jamal, who declared for Bahrain many years ago. Well, she is still a class act, having won bronze in the Olympic 1500 metres in London last year. But Fionnuala Britton, who has got a little bit of the Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price hair dye with her, not as strong as the Jamaican sprint star, but she's still leading the way and hoping to paint the town red, as she's done with her hair.
You can see on this section of the course what Fionnuala Britton is all about. She loves these kind of conditions, this muck, this clingy muck, those hills. Yeah, that's what cross country is all about, and Fionnuala is one of the best ever at that.
Well, moving forward, Emer Mullen just ahead of Gladys Gagnon, the three-time Northern Ireland champion, who's been reporting a bit of a cold this week, but who's still in the podium positions right now and who's still doing very well indeed.
Yeah, this hill is really tough, and you can see as everybody tackles it, the different styles and the different ways they go about it. And invariably, every second one seems to have a little slip. It's a very dangerous hill, actually.
So the leading bunch pretty much burnt off the rest now. Fionnuala Britton still leading the way. 2011, 2012, 2013. She's won international medals. That very impressive 3,000 metres indoor bronze in Gothenburg last year. Sarah Tracy still moving up in 9th place at the moment, fighting with Rachel Fenton and Juliet Potter, both of England, and her Irish international colleague moving up. That's Maria O'Sullivan of Raheny Shamrock, who's currently leading the under-23.
Yeah, Maria's a very good cross-country runner as well. She won the National Intermediate cross-country last year, was disappointed not to get picked when the Irish didn't send an under-23 team to the Europeans recently, but she's young enough to make the team again, and she's out to make a mark today. And if she could win the Celtic section of the under-23 race, that would represent a very fine run. But I'm really excited by what's going on up front here, and the battle between Britain, the Africans, and Steele, and Purdue hanging in there as well. There's a lot of pride at stake here. First of all, Britain is trying to put herself up there as at least the best of the Europeans, and then of course the two English girls are fighting their own little parochial battle. So and what about the sisters? I'm sure there's a pecking order there as well, Will.
It's between Britain, the Britons, the Belletes and Mariam Jamal. They are the leading six, and they all have excellent international honours between them. Gemma Steele now has 2 European cross-country individual medals, silver and bronze, 2 team golds, and also finished second here in Antrim in 2012. Almesh Bellete had an excellent 6th place for Belgium in Belgrade in the European cross-country before Christmas, having finished 4th in Budapest the year before. Beginning to make a move going up the hill. This is Mimi Bellete ahead of Almesh Bellete and Mariam Jamal, and Steele is back in 6th, Purdue 5th. In 4th place was Britain, and now coming up, this is Rosie Smith of Scotland. She's in 7th place, battling hard to keep up. It's Juliet Potter of England who's in 8th place. Sarah Tracy of Ireland should be just behind in 9th. And here she is.
It was very significant on that hill, the amount of ground that Gemma Steele lost. She looks the most uncomfortable going up that hill. Purdue was pulling away from her.
A very big move here. Mimi Bellete is pulling away ahead of Mariam Jamal, her Bahrain international colleague, in 2nd place. Almesh Bellete of Belgium is in 3rd. Fionnuala Britton fighting hard in 4th place. Charlotte Purdue in 5th for Great Britain. And going back to 6th place, Gemma Steele regularly on the podium, but she'll have to fight very hard to get into the top 3 today. In 3rd place here, it's Almesh Bellete. Look down, a really strong move there by Mimi Bellete, who's leading Mariam Jamal. It looks like being Bahrain 1 and 2. A quick focus on the battle for 3rd place. It's Almace Bellete, who has a 25-second lead over Fionnuala Britton. But it's a sprint for the line. Mimi Bellete with the hat. Mariam Jamal of Bahrain alongside. And you have to take your hat off to Mimi Bellete. She wins Antrim for the first time. And the twice world champion, Mariam Jamal, has to contend with second place. Almace Bellete wins the bronze for Belgium. And Fionnuala Britton, twice a champion here, won't make it 3 in a row. She'll be 4th. Charlotte Purdue 5th. Gemma Steele will be 6th.
Oh, that was a great race, and I think Fionnuala will be happy enough with that. She was the first European home. She comfortably beat Gemma Steele, who robbed her of the silver medal out in Belgrade before Christmas. Didn't rob her, beat her, but Fionnuala, I think, would always view herself as being better than Gemma, and so it was particularly disappointing when she had to cede it out there, but today she got her bit of revenge.
Well, I can tell you that the Northern Ireland title has been won by Emer Mullen of Springwell, with Gladys Gagnon in second place. And another Irish athlete home, Sarah Tracy. Mini Bellete wins the title for Bahrain, ahead of Mariam Jamal in second place. The other Bellete, Almace in third, Britain 4, Purdue 5, and Gemma Steele in 6th place. So 2 athletes from Bahrain and 2 Belletes on the podium. And Mimi was unstoppable today.
Did you enjoy that race? Did you enjoy winning here in Antrim?
Yes, it's really enjoying. It's first time for me, and it was stuff is not easy, but I'm really happy.
Did you find the conditions difficult?
So yeah, a little bit cold. It's okay. It's not so much, but a little bit.
It's actually a great course because I love running in the mud and the hills, so I think this course really suited me.
Is your first time here?
No, I ran once before 3 years ago, so.
Did that experience help you today?
Well, it was 3 years ago. But no, I ran in the international in Mall as well, like 2 months ago, so that's really helped to like get used to running in internationals and like people cheering for Ireland instead of your club, which is great.
And what's it like running in a field with such established athletes like Fionnuala Britton in?
It's really amazing because knowing that they're ahead of you and you can hear them on the mic really encourages you to keep going because you're like underneath the same, like wearing the same singlet. It's great.
And what's next for you?
Indoors. I've never done indoors before, so it'll be my first time running on the track. So I'm in Trinity College, so the 7th of February, indoors.
So you're going away today with a title.
Yes, it's great. It's amazing. Very happy.
You.
Thank you.
2 title winners side by side. Maria O'Sullivan, the Celtic under-23, and the Northern Ireland champion, Emer Mullen. So Emer Mullen takes the Northern Ireland and Ulster Cross Country Championship. Gladys Gagnon 2nd, and 3rd, Danielle Fagan of Armagh AC.
Emer, you're normally a triathlete. You've come here today and you've won a cross country championship. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. I'm really happy that I came along. I just came along because my team Springwell wanted me to come and run for the team, so it's a big surprise for me to win the Northern Ireland Championships.
And how did you find it out there? Was it a new experience for you?
It's definitely a new experience for me. It's high intensity and it's good fun. It was very muddy and very different for me, so I really enjoyed it.
So the World Cross Country Champion wins in Antrim. Until the next time, goodbye.